The swimming pool sparkled like diamonds under the afternoon sun. My sister Jessica's backyard looked like something from a movie. There were white tents everywhere, fancy tables with gold chairs, and a chocolate fountain taller than me. My daughter Lily held my hand tight as we walked through the gate. She was only 8 years old and wearing the pretty yellow dress we bought together at the mall. It wasn't expensive, but when she put it on that morning, her smile was everything. Lily carried a small box wrapped in purple paper. Inside was a photo frame she had decorated herself with stickers and glitter. She spent 3 whole weeks making it perfect for Aunt Jessica's birthday. "Mommy, do you think she'll like it?" Lily whispered to me. I squeezed her hand and smiled, but deep down I knew the truth. My sister Jessica had changed so much since she married Rich that she probably wouldn't even look at it twice. Jessica stood by the pool wearing a dress that cost more than what most people make in a month. Her sunglasses were designer, her jewelry was real diamonds, and she held a champagne glass like she was a queen. She married Daniel Robertson 3 years ago. His family owned restaurants all over the country. Big fancy ones where one dinner costs what I spend on groceries for a week. Ever since that wedding, Jessica acted like she was better than everyone else. Better than me. Better than our whole family. "Oh look, it's my poor sister," I heard one of Jessica's friends say as we walked closer. She was a tall woman with too much makeup. "The one who works at that little grocery store." Another woman laughed. How sweet of Jessica to invite them. Such charity. Lily heard them. I saw her shoulders drop and her steps get slower. But my brave girl kept walking forward anyway. She's stronger than people think. "Happy birthday, Aunt Jessica," Lily said in her sweetest voice. She held up the purple box with both hands like it was made of gold. Jessica barely looked down. She was busy talking to her fancy friends. "Oh, that's nice, dear. Just put it over there with the other gifts." She pointed to a table in the corner without even looking at Lily. The table was covered with huge presents in shiny paper and enormous bows. "But Aunt Jessica, I made it myself. I wanted to show you." Lily tried again. "That's wonderful, sweetie," Jessica interrupted, still not looking. "Now run along. The adults are talking. We're discussing our trip to Paris next month. Daniel and I are staying at the most exclusive hotel." I watched my baby girl's face fall apart. She walked slowly to the gift table and placed her small purple box next to a present the size of a suitcase. Then she came back to me and stood close, trying not to cry. "She's just busy, Mommy," Lily said quietly, making excuses for someone who didn't deserve them. "Lots of grown-ups to talk to." "I know, baby," I said, rubbing her back. The party kept going around us like a circus. Waiters in black suits walked around carrying trays of food I couldn't even pronounce. There were tiny sandwiches with fish eggs on top, little pastries that looked like tiny works of art, and fancy cheese that probably cost $50. Jessica's friends laughed too loud and talked about things nobody cared about. Their vacation homes in Florida. Their new boats. Their children's private schools that cost more than college. My mom rushed around like a busy bee, trying to impress everyone. She wore her best dress, the one she saves for church, and kept telling everyone about Jessica's big house and Daniel's successful business. It made my stomach hurt to watch. She was so proud of Jessica's money that she forgot to be proud of who Jessica was as a person. I drank my lemonade and watched everything like a movie. These people weren't Jessica's real friends. They were just people who liked her money and her big house. If Jessica lost everything tomorrow, they would disappear like smoke. Lily stayed next to me, too scared to move. There were other kids at the party, but they ignored her completely. One girl, maybe 10 years old, looked at Lily's yellow dress and wrinkled her nose like it smelled bad. Then she turned away and laughed with her friends. Lily pretended she didn't see it, but I watched her touch her dress softly, like she was suddenly ashamed of something that had made her so happy that morning. Then came the moment that changed everything. Jessica clinked her glass with a spoon. Ting ting ting. Everyone got quiet and turned to look at her. "Thank you all for coming to MY's special day," she announced with a big smile. It means so much to have my closest friends here at our beautiful home. She paused and looked around at everyone. And of course family too. Even the ones who don't have much. People laughed. Not nice laughs, mean laughs. My hands turned into fists. Now we've made quite a mess, haven't we? Jessica said, pointing at all the wrapping paper and plates everywhere. The catering people will clean most of it up, but... Her eyes landed right on Lily. Little Lily, sweetheart, you can help the servants clean up. It'll be good for you to learn how to work hard. You'll probably need to know how to do this kind of work someday anyway. The whole backyard went silent. Everyone stared at my daughter. Lily's face turned red like a tomato. She looked at me with tears in her eyes, confused and hurt and embarrassed all at once. Something inside my chest felt like icy and fire at the same time. Work hard, I said, my voice cutting through the quiet like a knife. What kind of work are you preparing her for, Jessica? Oh, come on, Rebecca, don't be so sensitive, Jessica said, waving her hand like I was a fly. I just meant that, well, you know, with your situation and everything, it's good for kids to learn that money doesn't grow on trees. Lily won't have it easy like some children. More uncomfortable laughs from her fake friends. My mom grabbed my arm hard. Rebecca, please don't make a scene. I gently moved her hand away and took a step forward. Everyone's eyes were on me now. You're right, Jessica, I said calmly. Lily should learn about hard work. I make sure she understands that every single day. I paused and let the silence grow. But I'm curious about something. When were you planning to tell all these nice people that the bank is taking your house away tomorrow? Jessica's smile froze on her face like a statue. What? The foreclosure, I repeated, nice and slow so everyone could hear. The bank is kicking you out tomorrow morning. Daniel's restaurants are going bankrupt. The government is investigating him for stealing money. His business partner ran away to another country last month. Did you forget about all of that? All the color left Jessica's face. She looked like she might faint. You don't know what you're talking about. Really? Pulled out my phone. Should I show everyone the paperwork? I work at First National Bank, Jessica. I see files like yours every day. You haven't paid your house payment in 5 months. The bank sent you 3 letters. Tomorrow at 9 in the morning, the sheriff is coming to make you leave. Daniel pushed through the crowd. His face was bright red with anger. That's private information. You can't. It's public record once the bank starts taking your house, I interrupted. Anyone can go to the courthouse and look it up. I'm just saving your guests a trip. Rebecca, stop this right now, my mother said in her angry whisper voice. But I wasn't done. Not even close. Want to know the really interesting part? I looked straight at Jessica. For the last 2 years, every time you called Mom crying because you couldn't pay your bills, she called me. Every single time Daniel's business lost money and you needed help, Mom begged me to save you. Jessica's mouth opened but no words came out. And I did help you, I continued. I have a friend who works in the bank's loan department. I asked him for favors. I got your payments delayed 6 different times. I spent hours on the phone with people trying to help you keep this house. Do you know why it took this long for the bank to take your house? Because I kept stopping it from happening. People started pulling out their phones, probably looking up the information online to see if I was telling the truth. That's not true, Jessica said, but her voice was shaking. Daniel takes care of our money. He would have told me if something was wrong. Would he? I looked at Daniel, whose face had gone from red to gray like a ghost. Or has he been hiding how bad things really are because he's too embarrassed to admit he lost everything? That he made bad choices and got involved with criminals who stole from him? A woman near the front gasped. Wait, is this the Robertson restaurant scandal? The one on the news? Rebecca, you're ruining everything, my mother cried. No, Mum. Jessica ruined everything when she decided to embarrass my daughter at her own birthday party. I turned back to my sister. You wanted Lily to help clean up with the servants. Here's the truth. After tomorrow, you won't have any servants. You won't have this house. The bank is taking everything. The furniture, cars, even that dress you're wearing, Jessica, because it's not even paid for yet. We can fix this, Jessica said, and now she was crying. Real tears running down her face. You work at the bank. You can stop it from happening. You said you helped before. Please, Rebecca. I did help before, I said. Every single time you treated me like garbage. Every time you made fun of my job, my house, and my daughter's clothes. Help because Mom begged me to. Because I thought maybe you would finally understand that family is more important than money. I walked over to Lily and put my hand on her shoulder. She looked up at me with wide eyes. But you just told my daughter, your niece, to clean up after your party like she's a maid. In front of all these people. To teach her about work because we don't have your money. I shook my head. So no, Jessica. I'm not helping this time. The bank takes your house tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. Exactly as scheduled. Please. Jessica's voice cracked like breaking glass. Where will we live? I don't know, I shrugged. Maybe you can rent a small apartment with whatever money you have left. Maybe you'll have to move in with Mom. Maybe you'll finally learn what real hard work feels like when you have to get a regular job like everyone else. Daniel stepped toward me, his hands in fists. You evil. Careful, I said in a cold voice. I know 3 of the lawyers who are suing you. Say one more word and I'll tell them about every bank account you're hiding. Every bit of money you moved to your brother's name. Every shady thing you've done in the last year. He stopped moving immediately. The backyard was so quiet you could hear the water in the pool. Jessica's fake friends were already moving toward the exit, excited to tell everyone they knew about what just happened. My mother looked like she might cry. You should leave, Jessica said quietly, tears running down her face and ruining her makeup. We're going, I agreed. Come on, Lily. My daughter picked up her purple gift from the table. Jessica had never even opened it. We walked toward the gate. Rebecca, my mother called out. How could you do this to your own sister? I stopped and turned around. How could I? Mom, I've been saving Jessica for years while she treated me like trash. I gave her chance after chance. But tonight she crossed a line. I looked down at my daughter and squeezed her hand. Nobody embarrasses my child. Not even family. We walked out of that big fancy backyard and got into our regular Honda car. The kind of car that works and gets you where you need to go without showing off. Mommy, Lily said as I started the car. Is Aunt Jessica really losing her house? Yes, sweetheart. Because Uncle Daniel made bad choices. Yes. Lily was quiet for a minute, thinking. Could you have stopped it from happening? I looked at her. I could have delayed it again. Maybe given them a few more months. But you're not going to. No. Because of what she said to me. Partly, I admitted. But mostly because she needed to learn that being mean to people has consequences. That family isn't about big houses or lots of money. It's about respect and love and being kind to each other. Lily nodded slowly. Is Grandma mad at you? Probably. Will Aunt Jessica be okay? Eventually. She'll have to live differently now. But she'll survive. Sometimes people need to lose everything to learn what's really important. We drove quietly for a while. Then Lily said something that made my heart full. Mommy. Yes, baby. I'm glad we're not rich like Aunt Jessica. Smiled big. Me too, sweetheart. Me too. The next morning I got 3 phone calls before breakfast. The first was from my mother, yelling about how I destroyed the family. The second was from Jessica, begging for help. The third was from my friend at the bank, confirming that the sheriff had gone to Jessica's house right on time and made them leave. I deleted my mother's voicemail without listening to the whole thing. I didn't answer Jessica's call. And I told my friend at the bank that everything was handled correctly and fairly. Then I took Lily out for pancakes at our favorite breakfast place. The little restaurant where everyone knows our names and we know theirs. Where the food tastes good and honest and nobody cares what kind of car you drive or how much money you have in the bank. That evening, Lily brought her purple gift to me. The one Jessica never opened. "I still want to give this to Aunt Jessica someday," she said. "When she's ready to say she's sorry." I looked at my daughter with so much pride in my heart. "That's very grown-up of you, sweetheart. You always say people deserve second chances," Lily reminded me. "Yes, but they have to earn them first." "I know," Lily said wisely. I heard later that Jessica and Daniel moved into a tiny apartment on the other side of town. Daniel got a job as a regular manager at a small restaurant. Not fancy. Not important. Just normal work. Jessica started working at a clothing store at the mall, folding shirts and helping customers. Something she had never done in her entire life. My mother didn't talk to me for 3 whole months. When she finally called, she didn't say sorry, but her voice was different. Softer. More respectful. Jessica sent me a text message 6 months later. Just 4 words. "I'm sorry for everything." I didn't write back right away. Some hurts take time to heal. But when Lily's 9th birthday came around, I sent Jessica an invitation. Just a small party at our house. Nothing fancy. Pizza, cake, and games in the backyard. Real fun. Jessica came. She brought a gift that wasn't expensive but was perfect. A book that Lily had mentioned wanting. She was quiet during the party, just watching. Watching Lily laugh with her real friends. Watching me serve food without any help. Watching us celebrate in a simple, joyful way. As Jessica was leaving, she hugged me tight. "Thank you," she whispered in my ear. "For what?" "For teaching me what I should have learned a long time ago." She wiped her eyes. "I was so mean to you." To Lily. "I'm truly sorry." "I know you are," I said. "We'll get there. But it takes time." She nodded and walked to her old used car. Not a fancy car anymore. Just a regular one that works. Lily came and stood next to me as we watched Jessica drive away. "Do you think she really changed, Mommy?" "I think losing everything gave her a chance to find out who she really is," I said. "Whether she changed or not is up to her. But at least now she has the opportunity to be better." "That's good," Lily said. "Everyone deserves a chance to be better." I hugged my daughter close, so grateful for her wisdom and her kind heart. She learned these things not from money or big houses or showing off. She learned them from understanding that what really matters is how you treat people. Especially when you have nothing to gain from being nice to them. The big fancy house sold to someone else. A doctor bought it for his family. Jessica and I slowly became sisters again. Carefully. Taking small steps. My mother eventually admitted I was right, though it took her a very long time to say it out loud. Lily grew up understanding something important. Money can disappear. Houses can be taken away. Status means nothing in the end. What matters is character. Being a good person. Never forgetting where you came from or who helped you when times were hard. As for that purple gift Lily made, Jessica finally opened it a year later on her next birthday. When she saw the frame Lily had decorated with so much love, she cried. She put it on her dresser immediately, and it's still there today, holding a picture of all of us together. Sometimes the hardest lessons are the most valuable ones. And sometimes the best thing you can do for someone you love is tell them the truth. Even when that truth hurts. Even when it costs them everything. Because real love isn't about protecting people from consequences. It's about helping them become better. And sometimes that means letting them fall so they can learn to stand up on their own. My sister needed to fall. And when she finally stood back up, she was a better person. A kinder person. The kind of sister I always hoped she could be. And that was worth everything. The end.